So I am Chandler Hoover. I'm a research ecologist with the Forest Service, the Northern Research Station. And I'm going to just get my workout today wandering around and push buttons because scientific studies show that if I stand behind a podium, I'm about 37% more boring. We don't want that to happen. That would be bad. So I'm just going to roam around, and that way I can keep an eye on everyone and see if they're making their shopping list or they've gone to sleep or look confused. So this is overview basic forest carbon accounting. Some of you may know some of this. To some of you, it may be all new, and that's fine. I'm not assuming any sort of prior knowledge. So my big map here, the blue part is the part of the United States where I spend most of my time, although I've done some work in other countries. I am an ecosystem ecologist, so I'm a big picture kind of person, and I spend a lot of time working with soils. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time with soils today, but if anyone wants to talk with me about it during the break and they have questions, that is absolutely fine. And a lot of what I do is I work at the stand and landscape scale, and I'm very interested in looking at the carbon consequences of forest management practices. So usually a very applied sort of take, not the sort of work one might do from country level accounting and larger scale, but a lot of project-based and sort of very practical. If we do this treatment, what is the outcome? And I actually work with a lot of historic inventory data, which is kind of fun. And I've worked on forest carbon, I like to say, since before carbon was cool. I started in 1999 when it was still considered pretty much a fringe topic. So it's really kind of interesting to me to see how much the field has grown. So now this is your turn. If we just go around and I'll hand the mic around so everyone can hear. I'd like to know your name, where you're from, and what your background is. And then if you could just tell me one thing, because this will help me. This is about you. This isn't really, there's one thing about today that's about me, and that's toward the end developing a post-Congress action plan for how we can follow on. But most of this is about you. So if you would also just say one thing that you would like to learn today, I'd really appreciate that.
Hi, my name is Richard Seddon. I'm from Swinburne University in Melbourne, Australia. I actually teach carbon accounting. Not the forestry side of things, so it's someone to know more about how carbon works from a forestry point of view.
Hi, I'm Aisha Nagali. I also work at the U.S. Forest Service, but I work in their International Programs Office, so I'm not a scientist. I do more of the policy, multilateral work, and some of our development work in foreign countries. I am hoping to learn some of the science that I don't have as more of someone who deals with policy and the political side of the environment. Thank you.
I'm Diego Joseph. I work for a network Central Africa Protected Areas Network. We cover 7 countries in Central Africa. So I've just been hearing about the carbon issue. I've attended 1 or 2 seminars, and now people are coming to us to ask more and more about protected areas, what we can have from the red issues and things like that. So I'm here just to know, to learn, and maybe to share the experience to those who come to us to ask what we can do.
Good morning, Sawadi. I'm from the Cambodia, the country office, UNDP country office. Currently, UNDP Cambodia country office is co-financing with the human rights and supported with the government of Cambodia Ministry of Environment and Forestry Administration in the implementing the RED National RED program. So one of which in the this program we house is ORE, also about the STEM, and also we provide grants to the local international NGO to do demonstration on the right side. And now we come to close to the end state about how to sell the carbon to the market, voluntary market. So what I'm here being as the grant or not grant manager, but just the country office. We want to know what is about the carbon accounting, so that we can provide oversight to the implementation of the government and also the demonstration of the NGO in the country.
Good morning, my name is Giacomo. I'm from Switzerland, but I'm working in Cambodia. It's the the country office. My background is in environmental science, and in one of my previous experience, I was working with the Swiss government in preparing the national inventory report, and I'm here for learning more about carbon inventory techniques, how to measure carbon pool in the forest.
Morning, my name is Marco Chipeta. I'm from Malawi, in Southern Africa. My career started in forestry. By training, I've got forest products. But I did general forest and forest products while I was in Malawi. Later on, joined the United Nations. More forestry. But halfway through that, I ended up moving into agriculture and food security, where I do most of my work now. Having retired back into Southern Africa, I find in my work, advisory work on agriculture, the forestry component keeps talking now about REDD, the opportunities for engagement with that. Now, the main challenge they face, their farmers are small, they're scattered, and they really can't think of a cost-effective way to measure in a, how do you call it, an acceptable way, the carbon capture. It costs too much to get a consultant to do it, and what do they do? Unfortunately, I can't stay for the day, but I thought I could get some insights on that. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Ratana Nawalun from the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Conservation, Thailand. My background is forestry and experience in protected area management. I have background for the forest inventory, but not carbon calculation for the forestry. Because now I transfer to work for the climate change and responsibility for the REDD task and negotiation for the procedure on modernity forest part including FCC. So I come here like to know more about the technique how to for the calculate for the forest carbon. Maybe it's for the REDD task strategy, because we will encourage the people in the country to plant more trees to collect the carbon in forest, and maybe the benefit incentive for the REDD task market, carbon market in the future.
Good morning. I'm Effendi Suhaili. I'm from the Forestry Department of Sarawak. A forester by profession, but my research interest is in remote sensing, to be more exact, hyperspectral. Currently, my team, we are conducting research in the estimation of biomass in the mangrove ecosystem. Uniquely, is juvenile mangroves, the one that we planted within 2 to 3 years. And I'm here to get further insights on the tools, maybe in a different ecosystem. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dennis Grossman. I'm a forest ecologist. By training, I worked most of my life with conservation organizations to help identify those places that are most important to protect from a biodiversity standpoint. More and more, we're looking to bring together information on carbon as another component to help identify where we need to prioritize our activities. And so what I'm really trying to understand from this session is how well developed is the science and the data that is available to help us understand the distribution of carbon, not really at a local level, but at a regional level, so that we can incorporate that into regional assessments.
Good morning. I'm Floyd Owen. I come from the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, based in the Caribbean. I work with an NGO called Trust for Sustainable Livelihoods, which is a Caribbean-wide NGO based in Trinidad and Tobago. I used to be a forest ecologist, and then I saw the darkness. My interest in this, we've been trying to get a sense of the carbon sequestration from native species of trees, particularly more important and more abundant species in our native forest, rather than using these proxy values from the north. We haven't been able to get a forestry division so far to bind it, but our NGO and other partners are interested in getting it. That's why I'm reason for being here, because we want to start with this element of 3 of the species.
Good morning. My name is Neil Zampier from Korea, and my field is water resources, plant and water treatment plant, and I forest carbon capture and inventory system is my interest area, so I want to know more about it. That's why I registered this lecture. Yeah, thank you.
My name is Martin Kaumba. I work for Erosion International, which is a conservation-based organization working in 19 different countries. Some of our projects are actually involved in carbon sequestration, and I've personally done a bit of work, a bit of research in carbon sequestration, modeling soil carbon and carbon vegetation. And my main interest is to just look at the other tools that are used in measuring carbon, and also looking at how carbon is audited in systems.
So far from what I've heard, I think this is going to be pretty helpful for most of you. And now we're going to put the new person on the hot seat. We've just been going around and saying who we are, where we're from, and one thing that we hope to learn today.
Hi, sorry for being late. I'm a student, that's why. My name is Sokin, originally from South Korea. PhD student in the States and working on RIDD+, setting a reference level as part of my dissertation. And I'm here to learn how other, I would say, non-scientific party measure carbon stocks. That would be the different. Thanks.
Thank you. So we have a lot of different perspectives on the agenda today, and I know that this is a big time commitment, so I'm trying to handle a lot of the technical material sort of up front. But a quick look at the objectives. So we want to make sure we all understand the basic principles, and again, really starting from the ground up, the absolute basics. And then the different ways we go about, there's some different approaches to estimating carbon, we'll talk about them. Different uses, I've heard a couple different uses of inventory today, and so we will also talk about that. We'll have some background on projects, on REDD+. Another person from the Forest Service, Emily, will be here later, and she will give you an overview of payments for ecosystem services. You had mentioned water, and carbon is one of those ecosystem services that stacks really well with other services, and there can be a portfolio approach. Just a little overview on where to find tools and resources, and then, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things I haven't done, I've done sessions like this before, and I've sort of done individual follow-up, but what I would like to do is actually take the time to sort of rearrange the furniture, sit in a circle, and develop a post-Congress action plan. And that could be, we could create some kind of web space, or we could have a community of practice. We might decide that several of us want to write some type of paper for a carbon journal talking about challenges and opportunities. There are a lot of things, but I would like this not to end today. So that's the part of today that's about me. I would like to develop a post-Congress action plan to see if we can build this into something and work together. But the rest of today is about you. So basic principles of carbon sequestration, the main pools, and all of this. Today, I'm going with, this is volume 4 of the 2006 IPCC guidance. And this is your roadmap. There are many different approaches, but pretty much any system in any country or for any program will be consistent with these. And I do like to have door prizes at every session. will be getting a door prize later. And on your flash drive, one of the things that's on here are volumes 1, which is general guidance, and volume 4 of this, because it has to be downloaded in pieces. And if you don't have a great internet connection, it takes quite a long time. So you'll get a lot of helpful goodies today, and this will be one of them. This is our roadmap. And then approaches for measurements, we're going to talk about stocks and fluxes. Those are sort of the 2 basic ways to do things. Data requirements, spatial scales. So we have someone who takes a remote sensing approach, and that's a lot different. And your data needs are different. Someone mentioned regional. Who was that? Somebody mentioned regional. Here, yeah, and that's a whole different, and so we'll talk about some of those challenges as well. Carbon inventory in real life, we're going to have, I have a virtual lecture from a Forest Service employee. We'll have her virtually introduce herself in a minute. She did a 2-year secondment with the Global Environment Facility at the World Bank as a carbon expert and did a lot of work with Sustainable Forest Management and REDD+, so we'll hear from her. I think that will be helpful for some of you. And unfortunately, we weren't able to have Deepa record hers, but I have a presentation regarding the monitoring, reporting, and verification system that's been developed in Guyana, mostly for REDD+, and then I have some comments. I had asked her some particular questions about their challenges that I think you'll find interesting. Calculating change and evaluating alternatives, that's always important. And then, again, project funding. Little bit on tools and resources. I'm just going to show you what some websites look like. On your flash drives, perhaps one of the more helpful things is a document that basically has a list of all different kinds of websites related to forest carbon accounting. All the links in there are correct and active at this point in time, and it will take you to everything from the IPCC website to World Bank websites to different examples of things. So it's not an exhaustive list, but it's a really great place to start looking for background information. And as I mentioned, we'll have Emily do an overview of payments for use services, and then our post-Congress action plan. And then for those of you who want to stay, I have some sample data, and you can actually work through one of the methods and do the calculations as they're outlined in the IPCC guidance. I think have plenty of time to get everyone to a World Leaders Dialogue, but it just sort of all depends on how the date runs out. So this is my standard caveat. This is a big one. Sometimes I get going too fast, and for some of you that may be a challenge, because it's a challenge for people whose first language is English when I really get on the roll. So please, if I get going too fast, flag me down. If you have an immediate question that's not overly complicated, please stop me and we'll deal with that question. If you think the question is a little more complicated, or you think we might have a little bit of a language issue and it will take us slightly longer to work through it, I would ask you to hold that for the break. But we do have plenty of time, and I want to make sure that your questions get answered. So basic housekeeping. At the break, if you haven't signed up on the sign-up sheet, please do sign in. Questions, I already went over that. Flash drives, just to make sure people don't run out the door right at the coffee break. I'll probably give you those to you at lunch. You don't need them right this minute, but their presentations from today are on there. There's publications on there that I think you'll find really helpful, and then that list of web links. So that's a nice tool to have. And then again, the post-Congress action plan. And for those of you who do stay and who do want the course completion certificates, I do have those provided by IUCN, so make sure you see me and I sign that for you before you leave. So if we could have Linda introduce herself now, the video, please. So Linda will be presenting a little later, but here's her introduction.
Good morning, or good day. I'm Linda Heath, and I'll be giving a talk later today take the opportunity to introduce myself using this method. I'm sorry I can't be at the meeting today. The IUCN World Conservation Congress plays a unique role, providing a venue for talking and ideas and interactions about for people that are passionate about conservation. I hope the meetings are going well. Moving on, to introduce myself, I'm a research forester with the U.S. Forest Service located in the northeastern United States. I've conducted research for 2 decades in estimation and projecting carbon estimation in all forests of the United States. Yes, all 300 million hectares of forest. In addition, I provided the official forest carbon and greenhouse gas inventories estimates that go to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in this country, and they compile them into the larger greenhouse gas inventories, and that's reported to the Framework Convention on Climate Change. In addition, I've served on Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, National Greenhouse Gas Task Forces, the 2003 Good Practice Guidance, and 2006 Revision Guidelines. I've written, co-authored, and